The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Views and opinions expressed by Hotep Jesus are those of Hotep Jesus's and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Hotep Nation or any of its officials. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact our Office of General Counsel via the sheet of the town. And Hotep and them.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
Two, one, boom. Hotep Jesus.
It is, I'm under the impression that everyone is dealing with some sort of mental disorder, some sort of mental chaos. Things are not all in a equanimous state in their mind. And some people are diagnosed with many different mental disorders. Many of them stem from anxiety and depression. And what I've noticed, many people come to me, I don't know why it is, but people come to me to talk about things, to get things off their chest. So I'm apparently a therapist of some sort, and I found a commonality. And the common question I ask people now is, when was the last time you created something? And usually the depression has set in right at the moment where they stop taking on or working on whatever project it is. If we look at grandma, for example, you see grandma's happy. Every time you come over, grandma's knitting a quilt or something like that. And you're like, why?
We got a little bit of myth busting to do today. The Grift Report starts right now.
Two, one, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Good afternoon, Hoteps. Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, the Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat. Hotep to the Hotepistanis.
Hotep.
What's up, y'all? Go 50 tomorrow in the curls? Okay, maybe. Had to get a nice little pump. Pause. From my high horse, what up, man? Oz, I see you. Ronan, what up, yo? Lauren in the chat. Jason, what up, man? Jack Reeves, the Viking. What's up, man? What else we got here? It's just me. Say, y'all don't forget to vote in the Grifties. Yeah, go to grifties.com. Make sure you vote for Hotep Jesus. I'm sliding in the rankings. Fresh Mike, what up, man? K in the chat. What up, yo? What's happening, y'all? Halima's in the chat. Hotep to Halima. What's up, love? How are you? Welcome. Hope everything is going well with you, Halima. Much love. I don't know if you guys know, in the saga of my life, Halima has been a vital piece to my success, and my heart goes out to her, and I really appreciate our work together, and can't wait to work with her again in the future. Huge help at HotepCon as well. Huge help at HotepCon. Just irreplaceable. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Like, when you stream, what you're supposed to like do some promo and shit like that, right? What am I gonna promo? All right, let's just fucking promo the Grifties. I think Grifties tickets are sold out, by the way. I went to the venue on Saturday, and he told me, yeah, stop selling tickets. That's what he basically told me. Stop selling tickets because it's a packed madhouse in there. He said it's going to be door-to-door, wall-to-wall. The term he used was sardines. He said we're going to be packed in there like sardines. So that means we got a nice packed house. Owen Benjamin is in number 1. He's in the number 1 slot for Grifter of the Year. Wow. Styx is right there at number 8. There's Hotep Jesus at number 17. Where's Goldstein at? There's Goldstein. Let me get my vote in for Goldstein. Shout out to Goldstein. Is Unc beating me? Where's Unc at? Unc ain't on here. Nobody. Somebody go nominate Unc for Grifter of the Year. He been heavy in his bag. Matter of fact, let's go to his account right now before we get into what we got to get into. What's he grifting on today? He's always got his sleeve. See, he trolling. He ain't shit. Look at this. This going to be a fire album cover. He ain't right. Who did this? Aaron Bushnell, hottest man of the year. Here go Uncle Hotep. Let that boy cook. This is what he doing to one of our fallen soldiers fighting a good fight over in the Middle East. This is what the grown-ass man in here doing. This ain't even right. We talked about this last night on the Patreon show, patreon.com/Hotep's Been Told You. Go get that for an extra dose of Hotep's Been Told You. We had a lot of fun last night. Okay, it's retarded. What else we got in here? He had another one. He had another tweet in regards to this hot boy. Was it from yesterday? It popped up in my For You tab. Uncle Hotep was in here trolling as usual. I guess that's it. Or maybe it was from this weekend. Here he says, American far right has gone from moving off the grid in Iowa to tweeting like Tariq Nasheed in just a few generations. It really should be studied. Let's go ahead and retweet that. Damn. It's a hell of a pill. All right. Let's get to what we got to get into. We're going intellectual today. Let's open up the bag. Let's get in our intellect bag. And this comes off of the heels of, well, we're still in Black History Month. MONF month. Okay. Just in case y'all was confused. Black History Month. And, one of the controversies surrounding Black History Month is obviously the relationship between whites and blacks. So today the topic is destroying race relations. Jason unfollowed you for cracking jokes on the dead rapper. He ain't right. Probably love that rapper. So, Doe Dubes has been doing tremendous work researching history, and he's on his Hotep Histories. If you're not following Hotep Dubes, follow him now on Twitter, Hotep Dubes. And today, we're presenting some of his tweets here, and we're going to dissect some of this stuff and then connect it to modern day times. So it's relevant in your mind, okay? So he says, reading up on negative consequences of Brown versus Board of Education. Now, really quick, we got my brain does this split where I just like that. I'm like, oh, wait, we got to head to Google. So we're going to type in Brown versus the Board of Education, right? We want to pull up this document here if we can find it. Let's see. Brown versus Board of Education. Let's go text and see what we got here. Okay, here we go. All right, wonderful. Found it. So one sneaky thing in here that's mentioned in Brown versus Board of Education. Thaddeus Russell was the one that tipped me off to this. Got to give credit where credit is due. And what it says here is, it is required in the performance of our most basic public responsibilities, even service in the armed forces. It is the very foundation of good citizenship. Today, it is a principal instrument in awakening the child to, and it says here, cultural values. Okay, we discussed this in the past. We're discussing it again. Cultural values. So this is what some may deem assimilation or amalgamation. I like to say, now how my brain is interpreting this is consuming another. So this is America consuming black culture, devouring it. Okay, and that's what we're going to look at, how integration devoured the black community and black culture. All right, let's go back. So that's the Brown versus Board of Education. And I deeply believe that there was a middle ground between segregation and integration. No way losing almost 40,000 black teachers, many of whom were more qualified than white teachers, was worth integrating. So let's take a look here. And okay, let me bring this down on your screen, and then we're going to read this text here. It says, in the ways of the world, despite the saturation of talented African Americans in a national teaching force between the Brown case, this would change drastically after 1954. Right? So the civil rights movement, from my perspective, is a whole entire sham. It's a scam, and it really destroyed the black community and destroyed race relations as well as a result. Over 38,000 black teachers in the South and border states lost their jobs after the Brown versus Board of Education ruling in 1954. Now I got to ask you, do you think that was part of the design? Do you think that the people that pushed this, the people that made this thing happen, the people that signed off on this, knew this would happen? Do you think they knew Black Falcon said, my father told me integration was the worst thing that happened to the black community. My uncle Odell told me that integration was disintegration. That's what my uncle told me. Doe been killing it with the cultural, with the history videos. He's been absolutely killing it. He's always been great at that. So it's good to have him back on the tweeter. Now, here we have another tweet from Doe Dubes. He says, Journal of Negro Education, 1950s and 60s, Jim Crow's Pink Slip, Al Fenwick, Hidden Cost of Brown versus Board of Education, M. Luntz. Those have even more sources embedded in them. You can research. I'm knee deep right now. And he pulls out this interesting excerpt here, and it says, really fast, Black History Month. Everybody affirms all of the leaders and icons of the civil rights movement. They celebrate integration as if it was a good thing, and some of the things that came out of the civil rights movement, that it was a good thing. The NAACP is a good organization. But these are the facts that are omitted. So when we're talking about Black history and Black History Month, we got to focus on, matter of fact, let's stop right here. We're going to come right back to that. And I want to play this video from Doe, which I thought pretty much encapsulates what I'm thinking right now. Let's pull this up. Very good explanation here from him.
We're shaking, everybody. President Hotep Dubes here. Now, as an armchair historian, I was asked why I don't put much emphasis on the oppressive side of Black American life and how I highlight more of the wealth building entrepreneurship of our people. And the biggest reason is because the Black Americans that endured that oppression really didn't highlight it either. It's not like they enjoyed it or they welcomed it. It's just that they weren't going to be sitting around complaining about it if they weren't going to be enacting a solution. So for the most part, whenever racism came to their doorstep, they would do their best to defend themselves, of course. And if that didn't work, they would rebuild and fortify to, make sure it didn't happen again or make it harder for it to happen again. There was no government agency coming to help. There was no outside help coming at all. And they knew this, so they chose to get to work instead. A perfect example of this would be the aftermath of the bombing of Black Wall Street. Now, most people today, they coil in horror at the bombing in 1921, but then they don't bring up the fact that it was almost completely rebuilt by 1925. In fact, a woman by the name of Marilyn Christopher, who was the granddaughter of one of the survivors of the attack, said, "We didn't sit around the dinner table talking about the Tulsa massacre. Instead, Black Tulsa residents wanted to restore the pride and prestige that they had just a few years prior. They didn't want to be seen as weak and celebrated their resiliency instead. If they would have allowed the bombing to demoralize them, then that meant the enemy had won. So instead, the Black Tulsa residents chose to change the narrative of the story, not accepting defeat. In 1925, the National Association of Colored Women petitioned the National Negro Business League to host their annual conference in Tulsa. Not only did the yearly conference take place in Tulsa, the NNBL, along with other local associations and groups, had a parade showcasing the city's economic and social strength. A columnist at the Black newspaper, the Chicago Defender, wrote, "It is one certain way of telling those who would destroy us that we are indestructible." We're shaking, everybody. President.
So, again, omission of history. They tell you about the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, bombing, whatever they're calling it. But how many people mention the fact that it was rebuilt and continued on? Another highlight in this video I found fascinating was when he was talking about the different organizations that the Black community had. It wasn't just the NAACP, various organizations. And I've spoke about this in the past. When it comes to Illuminati is winning because, well, they've mastered organization. So organizations are usually targeted by the Illuminati. But if you want to have success, you have to have organization. You get a group of people together that have like minds, and you build none other than Hotepistan.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
And this is the way forward. So, I just wanted to highlight that. But again, remember, Tulsa, Oklahoma was rebuilt. How many people talk about that? It speaks to the strength and resilience of the people that went through something quite tragic. All right, let's go back. So here we have a text, and it says, further evidence comes from a letter written in 1919 by a black teacher to the governor of Kansas, Henry J. Allen. Mr. Crosby, a teacher of 18 years from Ware, Kansas, wrote to Governor Allen to inform him that segregation of the races was better for African Americans. Segregation of the races was better for African Americans. And it's true. From a nation building standpoint, we're going to probably dive into a little bit deeper as we read through this text. It says here, as a teacher of 18 years, practical experience in several states. Hold on a second. When was the Great Depression? $1929. Okay, 1929. So this is 10 years before the Great Depression, which completely demoralized the entire country, regardless of race. Also led to black people not trusting banks. And that's where you get the whole tradition of putting your cash underneath a mattress, because you'd go to the bank and it'd be a bank run and they say you can't have your money. So that also came out partly due to the Great Depression. Anyway, let's go back. That's why when Fannie Willis was talking about her keeping cash around the house and her dad taught her that, I found it to be believable. Now, is she lying? Maybe. But it's definitely believable, because there's a lineage of mistrust between black people and the banks. I remember my grandma used to keep cash underneath the mattress. So that goes back, stems back from the Great Depression. All right, so it says here, as a teacher of 18 years experience in several states, I'm thoroughly convinced that my race would do far better by separation. As I am colored, I would not write thus if I did not actually believe what I write. Today, they probably call her a coon. I can prove to you that a separation is best for my people. If we are to develop as a race, and all races, the Negro accepted, have a strong tendency to racial unity, we must do so in the same logical way that other races have attained their present status in the civilization scheme of mankind. No race can develop properly when it seeks to lose its identity among another race, nor can any race develop without ideals necessary to such development. So the key part I want to come back to and key in on here, which relates to her claim that separation is better. This one line in this sentence: no race can develop properly when it seeks to lose its identity among another race. What walks through the door as we read this? DEI. Now, we've talked about DEI in the past. Now, one thing I missed in my DEI presentation, although that presentation was more about masculinity, is this sentence right here: losing your identity amongst another race. That's what DEI, inclusion, and all these things represent. This is a continuation of integration.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Integration never really stopped. It's continued to be forced. They call it diversity, equity, inclusion, critical race theory. All these different things are looking to devour the black community. Now, I would say that traditionally, from my own anecdotal evidence, Black and Italians, and I'd say even Jews probably, have a unique culture outside of American culture, right? Notice I don't say white culture. Let's say American culture, because American culture was built upon Hollywood, media, TV, et cetera, mostly Hollywood. You know, what life is supposed to be like, how we're supposed to act, our cultural norms, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the Black community was, I don't know how it is today, but was holding on to values that kept the family strong. One of them is a controversial topic: corporal punishment. Whooping your kid's ass. I remember I was friends with this Italian kid, and I went over to his house to go hang out. We was little boys then. And his dad snatched him up and pulled out one of them paddles. You know them paddles, them spanking paddles, and gave him one wallop on the ass. And Mike went running and crying. Michael went running and crying. I said, damn, he get beatings too? It's Italian. There are a lot of different elements. I think the chat could probably contribute here and toss in the chat. I'll read some of those out on what is it that Black culture, Italian culture, has held on to despite America's shunning of things that we may have done, right? So one of them we talked about before was mistrust of banks. Another one was mistrust of government. That's huge in the Black community. And I think what happened is they had to amalgamate Black people into the greater society, partly because you don't want people emulating what actually makes a strong family. We also had strong cultural norms, right? Black man went out to go work. Black woman stayed home, cooked and cleaned. And I'm sure the same was for white families. But as you can see now, there is a huge concerted effort to educate Black women, get them into college, right? So this is part of the integration. This is part of the dissolving of Black people and Black culture. Food and family, yeah. Strong Dad said, Black people in 2024, we want to separate. White people in 2024, all Black spaces are racist. We are all American. Also white people in 2024. The racist Dems destroyed your community with integration. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of contradictions here. A lot of contradictions. Germans and Poles do too, but they keep it super low key. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening with the Germans and the Poles. Dominican moms give you the chancla? Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get hit with the slipper. She's going to toss that thing from across the room and hit your ass with bullseye accuracy. Okay? So I think partly, doing away with Black culture, really what it is about creating a homogenous mind. That's why they don't like nationality. That's why they don't like tribalism. It's about creating a homogenous mind. I had a tweet yesterday that said the adoption of social media has led to the decline of independent thought. Where they plug everybody into this social media system, okay? And now you create this hive mind, this homogenous mind where everybody thinks the same, and you're stuck in party politics, and you're a party prisoner and partisan prisoner, and you can't escape. And if you try, you'll be canceled. You'll be dragged. And every conversation turns into a binary situation. No nuance. Everything is right or left. Any show of nuance will get you called right wing by the left and left wing by the right. I've done it before. I've had a very centralized take, and the left will say, hey, you know, what are you, some right winger? And the right winger will say, what are you, some left winger? So when you have the dawn of social media, this is also a form of integration of the minds. So prior to, there was only a few ways that the powers that be could distribute propaganda and install in your mind. And one of those ways was television. That was the main way, probably television and newspapers, magazines. But that was for a select period, right? You had to wait till you got home to be indoctrinated with the latest news of the day. Not anymore. Now, as soon as you pick up your phone, the indoctrination begins. And it is now an all-day thing to where now they control the minds of millions, if not billions, hundreds of millions in America alone, by creating this hive mind. This is why people say the woke mind virus spreads so fast. And it's true. This is why you see the woke mind virus has spread so fast, it's even infected the right. And let's go to that right now. Let's pull this up. Got a couple of videos to show you today. But just pure weakness. Pure, absolute weakness. Now, here's a video from Daily Caller. I don't know who runs Daily Caller, what's going on Daily Caller, but let's take a look at this video.
They really poison the atmosphere. They chill speech. They make people feel like they have to walk on eggshells. You can't even...
They make people feel like you got to walk on eggshells. The caption of this video is, what does DEI teach? They make you feel like you got to walk on eggshells.
Discuss certain controversial topics, and indeed the whole enterprise of the rule of law, of trying to seek truth and open inquiry, have academic freedom. All of that is illegitimate because it's based on racist and sexist and heteronormative structures that are, should be dismantled. That is what DEI teaches. That's what it indoctrinates through orientation sessions, through programs, through resegregated buildings and structures and programs. I mean, it's a toxin. They really poison the...
You heard what he said right there? Said it right there. Resegregated.
Sessions, through programs, through resegregated.
Resegregated. So he's talking about like some of these places that do like, Las Vegas had the black owned business fair or something like that. And other instances of separation between the races, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, this just comes off very soft. Is he lying? No. I think the part I agree with most is right here.
Eggshells, you can't even discuss certain controversial topics.
That is a big hindrance to our growth as an organism in this country, in this great land, if I were to sound like a politician. They have definitely limited how much speech you can talk about, right? But the counter to that is just more speech, like speaking your mind freely and completely ignoring, whatever it is that the left tries to do, right? So again, coming back to the fact that they've created this homogenous brain, this homogenous mind, and now DEI is at the front of their brain, at the front of their mind. They wake up and they think about DEI. DEI isn't exactly the boogeyman like they believe it is. DEI is, if anybody should be pissed off at DEI, it should be black people. Should be black people. If anybody should be alarmed, it should definitely be black people. For various reasons, as you know, like people have repeated this a million times. Affirmative action only benefited white women. So what do you think is going to happen with DEI? Right? DEI is definitely not about race. It's definitely about gender and political ideology. Now, although this guy didn't tell no lies, it sounds soft. It sounds real soft. So I'm a bit conflicted. In a way I'm like, okay, I agree with the video. Another way I'm like, y'all some punks, man. Y'all some punks. Now, am I wrong for saying that? Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. But he's not lying. Let's go to the second example. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this up. Let's put this on the screen. We covered that. What is this? Okay. And then we got to go here. This is recent. All right, let's start right here. So I was tagged in this tweet by Axel Foley. It says Joe Rogan, Jamie Vernon. Who's Jamie Vernon? Jamie Vernon. The Jamie. That's Jamie from, what's the name? Needs to have Hotep Jesus on the same time as Elon Musk and Alex Jones. They need to answer for race grifting. Legitimately look like controlled opposition lost for good. And he's referring to this tweet here from Elon Musk. What's the difference between a conspiracy and the truth? And he says about 6 months. And he shows this meme here. It says nobody wants to get rid of white people. That's a far right conspiracy theory. And he says, okay, then now show me a picture of the founding fathers. And then you have this image here, right? Which apparently is some sort of erasure of what the white founding fathers. So even Elon is in on the race grift, probably helping perpetuate it because there's a top-down approach. He's top of the funnel. He's the one dictating the way things go culturally, especially among the right wing. But again, this is a way to destroy race relations. Now, this concept of, getting rid of white people, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't think the powers that be are saying we got to get rid of the white man. We got to replace the white man. I don't think that's what happened. That's happening. Also with the AI, it's quite ridiculous to complain about the AI. As I said yesterday, if you're not going to use the AI to get some work done, please step away from the AI and stop being offended by the program. First of all, they don't know how to use the AI. That's why they can't get the images that they want. Second of all, the AI originally had a white bias. Now, I didn't care. I just said, if I wanted to create a black person, I just put, a black person in, and I got a black person. I figured that the majority of content is probably white-centric, for lack of a better term, Eurocentric. A lot of the content that exists. So if you're going to program the AI based upon this white country that we live in, I'd expect the AI to assume that the majority is white. And therefore, that's why the images are coming out white. Okay? And if you typed in rapper, it'd probably say, okay, here's a rapper, and it'd probably be black because that's what's in its database. And I believe that Google, made a failed attempt. It's probably like some sort of number that you type into the code that says, you turn this number up and you'll get more or less blackness. Okay? More or less blackness. And maybe somebody went there and played with it and turned it up to 100. I don't know. But I think that at the end of the day, it was caused by trying to correct the AI, at the very least. Seven Divine said, white man falling off because he gave his woman too much power, got too comfy. Yeah. The race grift is going out of control. Engagement for his platform. Thank you, Famo. Descendant Loki with 10 gifted memberships. Shout out to Axel Foley. Yeah, you made it. You made it to the cast. Descendant of Loki single-handedly keeping the Grift Report alive. Appreciate you, bro. It's a gradient slide. Yeah, it might be a gradient slide. You know, whatever mechanism it is, somebody slid it probably too far black, and then we came out with that. Now let's go to the next one. Now this one is recent. This is from today. Okay, let's go to this image here, and here we have white girls dancing to, I'm assuming, is black music. Okay, and now you're gonna see where we go full circle with where we started with integration. Okay, and I'm gonna show you the difference between white people or a specific type of white man and the rest of us. Okay, so you see the white girls out here and they're participating in something called black culture, right? Black culture. Maybe. It looks like Mardi Gras or something like that, New Orleans, right? And they got a little bit of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? They got a little rhythm. They getting it in. So white man says, why don't men want Western women? Question mark. And he points to this video of the white women acting black. We're going to come back to that, but first let's look at Steph's response. Steph says, white girls dancing to black music has this cuck/wannabe based Chad at home crying and throwing up. Your ancestors look down upon you in shame. So now it's time to make everything go full circle. Okay. Is Steph right? I would say he's half right, because this is what we get all day. White men, you know, finding some video to be mad about. But really what he's talking about is his fear. He's got a fear of losing himself. This is a very legitimate fear. Now, there's a difference between saying the Illuminati want to destroy white people as opposed to saying that there's a legitimate fear of losing yourself. Those are two different things. Losing yourself to this culture. What I would say is you got to take notes. You got to take notes. Notice that white men like this, let me be specific, white men like Chase here, like Chase Austin. White men like this Chase Austin guy should be studied. You should take notes. If the black people during the NAACP civil rights sponsored movement had thought like this, we wouldn't be here right now. We would still have black communities, more than likely. So, in a way, the white man, Chase Austin, maybe he's learned from our mistakes, or maybe he just is a bit prescient and sees that, our women out here assimilating, losing themselves. He sees his woman losing himself. Now, there's this very interesting dynamic in the black community where a black woman dates outside of her race and a black man dates outside of her race, right? And if a black woman dates outside of her race, black men go, I don't really care. And black women go, if they see a black man dating a white woman, especially if it's a rich athlete, they get upset, right? They're territorial. And this goes back to a section in my book, Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity. Women are the apex predator. You can go get that at HotepJesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
So women are territorial. White men are territorial. What's going on with the black man that he's not policing his woman? Then you wonder why the black woman is acting all willy-nilly in the streets, because he hasn't put a restraint on her. So this is why I say Steph is half right, because he's saying this guy's a cuck, and maybe he is, I don't know, but he's actually doing the right thing from a race preservation point of view. From a race preservation point of view, he's supposed to say, white woman, get your ass in line. We dance to polka and other forms of white music, whatever they may be, Metallica or some shit, heavy metal. Get your ass over here and turn on some Metallica. Stop acting like the Negroes, because then you're going to end up in bed with one. You're going to create a black child, and you're going to erase us. That's why I say Steph is half right, because I say in one way, it's like, yeah, these guys are waking up, finding something to complain about. But on the other hand, it's like, why don't black men act like this about their women? This is a huge conundrum. This is a huge, huge conundrum. What song is playing? I'll play it for you.
Shake it for the camera. Shake it for the camera. Shake it for the camera. Yeah, shake something for your boy like that. Shake something for your boy like.
Like some hip hop festival style music, some shit you play at a cookout. I'm Black Love and I love Metallica. Well, there you go. There you go. White women can dance to Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. There you go. He said them white women ain't dating no white man. Uh-oh. The white man has fallen? Yeah. It's not looking good out here. It's not looking good out here. But Hotep Jesus, I start seeing the nuance in these conversations, where this trend of, racial animus being expressed by white men online, the great replacement theory. Great replacement theory is here to replace all of us, by the way. Here to replace all of us. And really, it's got Marxist beginnings. It's really just a continuation of Marxism. That's really what it is. Let's be honest. Marx wanted to eliminate the bourgeoisie, aka the middle class. So the great replacement theory isn't exactly what it says. It's not really about replacing you. What it is about straining you. It's about creating a smaller middle class so they can put more people on government assistance and turn you into cattle, turn you into wards of the state. It's not about great placement theory. It's about getting your ass on UBI. It's about making you a cog in the machine. They don't want to replace you. They want to control you.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
That's what this is about. They're not looking to replace black people. They're not looking to replace white people. They're looking to make your life a living hell. The second piece to it is they're looking to create a race war, whether mythological, physical, ideological, social mediacal, because that's really what it is. We have a race war online right now. I've even seen some white people pop up. Some black people pop up, and they're doing, here's videos of white people being violence against black people. And they're doing that as a counteracting to this. Okay, so why the destruction? So on one side of things, it's about destroying black culture. And on the other side, it's about destroying so-called white or American culture. I can't say American culture, because American culture is just decadent bullshit. It's more about destroying or making the two races become one. So it's not really about assimilating. It's about blending the two races. Make black people more white and white people more black. Therefore, we can't tell the difference between the two, and they're all American. Now we have this homogenous mind, which is easier to infect and therefore easier to control. Okay? That's what this is about. It's about smushing us together. Smushing us together. Literally, too. Literally. Now, Are they, are we sharing the greatest parts of black culture? No, we're sharing the parts that don't really give a damn, that really don't make much of a difference. Dance, right? And a dance can oftentimes be very sexual. So that leans right into the cultural Marxist ideology, where they want to have people, again, practice a decadent lifestyle, be lascivious. Okay? That's what this is about. Destroying good culture, destroying family culture, and really distilling people down to agents of demons, agents of the devil, to where ignorance is more celebrated than intelligence, to where fun is no longer intellectual. It's about wasting time. It's about spending money. You ever heard of retail therapy? They tell women retail therapy, you go out and you go buy new things and that's supposed to make you happy. Yeah, until you get used to those new things, then you got to go out and you got to shop again, right? So it's not exactly a cure, or it's not even real therapy. Ethnogenesis, I like that. Ethnogenocide, how about that? This is ethnogenocide.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Okay. Let's go back. Close some of this stuff out so we don't got no issues. Staying in the same vein of black culture, we have an interesting event that happened this week. Fat Joe went and got Trump's new shoes. Let's take a look.
Why? If you collect art, do you really know what Basquiat was into? Do you know what Andy Warhol was into? Any of these artists that you was into? You love the art. So you get it. I guess they separate art from the person. Now me as a sneaker collector, I had to get my hand on the Trumps. Doesn't matter. Show us the Trumps, please. Y'all trying to clout chase it. Y'all give me a Trump. Give me the Trump, man. Give me the Trump, man. They think I'm fronting. But listen, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of pairs of sneakers.
Thousands of pairs of sneakers.
When everybody flipped on Kanye, I went and bought the 2 most exclusive Kanyes ever.
First of all, they got them.
No, I ain't doing all that. Just give me one of the sneakers. I'm not.
Just show them the box first, what it says. It's friends and family, there's only 50 of these.
I gotta get my hands on them. Once again,
show them the number on the tongue.
I'm not a Trumper. I dislike Trump. I'm not voting for him, not now, not never. But I'm a sneaker collector into the art, so I had to find these. Now the mayor's gonna call me. Everybody's gonna call me and say, you wildin' out, Joe. Why you got the Trump? Look, mayor's the first one. Joe, I'm a sneaker collector. I don't know what none of these guys did. I collect sneakers. The rarer, the better. No, I didn't pay for these sneakers. Sorry. I didn't pay for these sneakers. They knew I had to have them because I'm the biggest in the game. So what I do is collect.
Wait, hold on. It's a piece missing. We're going to have to get that for you. Hold on. It's a key piece missing that they omitted from that video. Hold on. All right, here we go.
But I got the Trump sneakers. I got them. Now, I'm a sneaker collector. I'm a sneaker collector. What does that mean, Joe? I'm one of the biggest sneaker collectors in the world. Now, you know I don't rock with Trump. You know I'm a die-hard Democrat.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Fat Joe was a die-hard Democrat.
You know I'm a loyal Democrat to a fault.
At least he admits it's to a fault.
I almost think I'm a sucker.
Joe, you wanted something here, Joe. Keep going.
I'm like the lady who used to follow Obama around going, fired up. I'm one of them. But I needed the Trumps.
I needed the Trumps. All right. So what's the lesson here? Remember last week they was saying, oh, it's racist to say black people going to vote for Trump, because of the sneakers. And they're right. I don't think I said something to the fact of, I said, it'll move the needle just a smidge, like ever so slightly, like so much so you won't even notice, right? But as you can see, the community, hip hop community, is in fact infatuated with sneakers. The issue is saying that's going to be the reason why people vote for Trump. That's not going to be the reason why they vote for Trump. But, matter of fact, I was listening to some marketing education this morning, and they were talking about top of the funnel marketing, paid advertising, et cetera, et cetera. And they're talking about like brand impressions, and how you can't really measure, how many impressions that your brand got, right? So the Trump sneakers, whether it converts to votes or not, is not able to be tracked. You can't track that. There's no way to track that. And that's what the podcast was talking about today. It was talking about how the information surrounding paid advertising is sitting inside of a black box. And people, data analysts who think they could, calculate return on ad spend accurately are just false. It's just false. You can't do it. It's not possible. You can probably see 1% of the traffic on ROAS. But the fact of the matter is, there are impressions that are made on your brand, and these sneakers, when I say impressions, I'm talking about digital marketing here. Okay. So how many times people have seen your brand? Now, this may not directly translate into voters, but it does boost the Trump brand amongst the black community, specifically the sneaker collector community. And the sneaker collector community it's consumed of various races. I used to go and sponsor those shows, and it was mostly like Asian and white kids, and then everybody else was black. But there was a lot of Asian kids, there was a lot of white kids, young too, man, like kids like 10, 11, 12 years old, and they're rocking like the latest J's, and they're walking around with their boxes of sneakers and shit, looking to sell and trade and all of this. But it does have hip hop origins. So, although this may not translate into voters, this does translate into brand impressions, which could later on down the line lead to voters. So it's not fair to just be mad at the guy on Fox who said, Trump sneakers are going to, make black people vote. Although it sounds asinine. I still don't know why it sounds asinine. Maybe because, like I said, it's not true. That's probably why it sounds asinine. Probably because it's just not true. However, beyond the White House, this does great for Trump, period, and the impressions that he leaves on people's mind. It's a good way to do black outreach to affirm what I think it really does. It really just affirms to the black people who have said, yo, I'm voting for Trump this time around. I think it's really just like, all right, yeah, I'm even more going to support him now. Even if this happens subconsciously, I'm going to talk about him more. As you can see, it made the Grift Report. These sneakers have created a whole lot of hullabaloo. So outside of the spend to create the sneakers and the monies that he's made, think about the amount of brand impressions just around the story of the sneakers. Think about the amount of brand impressions he got by Fat Joe purchasing the sneakers. Right? So you can't say for certain whether or not it will translate into votes further on down the line, but it does not directly contribute to votes. It just indirectly contributes to votes. Really kind of hard to explain, I guess, now that I'm thinking it through. But niggas love sneakers. And I think it's kind of hypocritical to sit up here and act like niggas don't love sneakers. You know? Cannon Hotep, what up, bro? It was an out-of-touch comment. Yeah, I could see that. Said I saw 4 Arab teenagers buying shoes outside of 7-Eleven 2 weeks ago. Uh-oh. Trump a marketing genius? Yeah, this is definitely like marketing, right? This is like marketing. Retro Neon, thank you for the $2 super. He said, I'm getting no Trumps and waiting on the 2s. Uh-oh, Retro Neon about to get a pair. Kay said, Fat Joe is a slave to the industry. He has to follow the popular celebrity vote. Damn. Cringe Republicans over on Rumble says, cringe Republicans need to get out of Trump's way and let him talk to black people. Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. Get out the way, let Trump do his own messaging. And stop misconstruing it and you know. Candace said, just cop the eggplant foams. See? Sean shit. Niggas love sneakers. It's just something that's followed us culturally. And you see Fat Joe with the sneakers. Just is what it is. You know, you can't change facts. I just don't think it's smart to be offended, you know, by that guy on. But I can understand why, because it sounds kind of silly. But all right, last video, and then we're going to go to the phone lines. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. I'm going to go to the last piece. Oh, why is shit jumping around? I hate this new Twitter shit. Here we go. Check this out. All right. So a few months back, or weeks back, whatever it was, Matt Walsh said we crazy for believing that, or questioning the moon landing, right? Questioning the validity of the moon landing. And he said mostly because it would be harder to fool everybody that was involved with the moon landing than it would be to actually go to the moon. I wasn't buying it, but check this out.
Behind the scenes at Mission Control, Gene Kranz's team is training, simulating the landing.
The simulations were so real that no controller could discern the difference between the training and the real mission.
Behind the...
There you go. Shout out to Wits It Get It, who published this. Says here, in the late 1960s, our simulation technology had progressed to the point where it became virtually impossible to separate the training from actual missions. The simulations became full dress rehearsals for the missions down to the smallest detail. The simulation tested out the crews and controllers' responses to normal and emergency conditions. It checked out the exact flight path, mission rules, and procedures that the crew and controllers would use for a later flight. The simulations were so real that no controller could discern the difference between the training and the real mission. This is from Gene Kranz. book, Failure is Not an Option, Apollo Flight Director, Gene Kranz. So there it is right there. Debunked that fast. That's why I don't really like, jump into shit and, waste time researching, because eventually the truth is going to slide to the top, and we're going to post it right here in the Grift Report. I would love to see Matt Walsh respond to this. This is one of Goldstein's favorites. Hold on, let me see. How do you... yeah, I don't see Matt Walsh in here in the responses. Yeah, he ain't here. He ain't here. He ain't gonna be. He ain't gonna be. But again, you kind of going back to what I was saying before about the homogenous mind and the woke mind virus and affecting people. Matt Walsh is one of those people who, helps keep people in that mental cage, so to speak, and say, oh, well, if you believe this, then you must be crazy. Really? Really? I don't know about that. Maybe I'm the one actually using my brain and thinking and questioning things. And this is what we're talking about, the lack of trust for government. A healthy lack of trust for government. So necessary. Anyway, let's go to the phone lines. Text Hotep your name at 202-596-5631. And I'll be right back after this short, brief commercial break. If I could find my software.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
Strong Dad on the check. And Strong Dad, what's up, bro?
What's up? What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening with him, yo?
Just chilling, cleaning the windows on a project long since needed to be finished.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it. Getting work done.
Yeah, that's right. Getting work done. The shit the rest of these niggas ain't doing. Hey, man, Fat Joe is lame as fuck, man.
You think so?
I mean, he's just pretty lame. He's just lame all around. I've never really liked Fat Joe. I don't know.
He got a classic album.
He does. Hey, I got nothing against some of his good shit. I mean, there are tracks that are in my head that are his, but I don't know. His character is lame. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because he wants to vote for Democrats?
Well, I didn't even know that, but that just solidified the fact that he's a lame. I used to just have a feeling he was a lame. You know when you just meet a nigga and you're like, that nigga's lame. That's just how I felt.
You think Fat Joe is lame?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah, I think Fat Joe's lame.
I never got that from him or Terror Squad or anything like that.
No. See, and then that opinion is not a reflection on his art, on what he's brought to the hip hop game,
yeah,
or anything like that.
Well, him as a person.
Yeah, I just never really. I don't know. It's just something about him I don't like. I've met dudes like that.
Okay.
I don't like.
So it's just a feeling.
Yeah, it's just a feeling. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? When you go ahead and say that, then that just solidifies everything.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal Democrat to a fault, but I mean, all these celebrities are loyal. They're loyal to a fault to whoever's dick they got.
Do you think he was? Do you think he was serious? Like he's a loyal Democrat, or you think that was his way of balancing out the fact that he bought the Trump shoes?
I feel like he was trolling a little bit.
Trolling a little bit.
I feel like he was trolling a little bit, and yeah, he was probably trying to bring a little balance. You know, he probably thought he was gonna catch some strays, so he's making sure. You know what I'm saying? He's putting the vest up in a couple directions. That's really what it looked like to me. It's like, don't cancel me. I'm a Democrat. Don't cancel me.
Yeah. It seemed like it was a bit of a disclaimer.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a disclaimer.
Yeah.
But you know what? Listen, niggas might like shoes, but I don't know, man. First of all, I've never liked shoes. Never been a fan of the shoe game.
Come on, let's be real. Having a shoe game is vital in the black community. Whether you going with the Stacey Adams or the snakeskin whatevers, you got to have a mean shoe game. Black women, I remember growing up, the girls wouldn't even check you out unless your shoe game was fire.
That's weird.
Is it?
You know why that's weird? Because the majority of niggas whose shoe game is fire are broke niggas. And the niggas whose shoe game isn't fire are working in the trade, are working every week, so they shoes are work shoes. And these dumbass bitches been following these shoe niggas for so long, and now they talking about where the good black men at. And these niggas is dating fucking Rebeccas and fucking, you know what I'm saying, Mirandas and shit, talking about, oh, you didn't want me when I was dusty. Well, that's the utility of the shoe game. That's the utility. If niggas took the money they spent on shoes and devoted it just to making businesses, we would never be having this fucking net worth conversation or none of that shit in the black community ever. We'd have been past that shit. If niggas withdrew from sports and shoes, we'd be good. But they can't. They are fucking slaves to entertainment because we are a decadent people, because we are the original people. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are. We get a little bit of gold and we got to show it off because that's who we are inherently. So, I mean, we brought this. We brought this upon ourselves.
Someone here said, women have a weakness of equating shoes to money, and therefore when they look at a man's shoes, they quickly assume his worth. Women have been indoctrinated to equate not only shoes, but also cars to what men are worth. They say, you are what you wear, you are what you drive. How about you are what you think? This is, I just Googled I typed in, it was on Quora. I typed in woman advice, look at a man's shoes. Because I used to hear that. I used to hear that from, why did it do that? Why did it? I'm going
to tell you what, I'm raising a daughter.
Yeah.
And a nigga's shoe game is the last thing she's going to be looking for. The last thing.
Okay.
I don't care what the fuck that nigga's wearing. I wear shoes for utility. I've been wearing Vans forever because of skateboarding and working.
Yeah.
That's it. I got no reason to spend no more than $70 on some shoes. That's ridiculous.
Again, we're talking about.
I mean, if you're a collector, hey, I'm not shading the collectors, man. You know what I'm saying? I respect the collection game. That's just not for me. That's just my opinion on that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I get that, right? That's a very mature way to look at this. But I remember hearing black women say, look at a man's shoes and it'll tell you if he's broke or not. If you look down his shoes and his shoes look disheveled, he probably ain't got no money. So just like you say, broke niggas got nice shoes, you could also say broke niggas got terrible shoe game too. And I think there is some truth to it.
There's a little validity. Yeah. No.
Montoya said, my dad told me, look at a man's shoes. I believe it's an old school definition of money and sophistication. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that's passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, that's just weird to me. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because of coming from nothing, losing it all, and then having to get it all. I can't equate worth of any type of, to what a person has on them. I just can't, especially nowadays. It's just so easy to acquire wealth, and I can't judge you based on anything but your character. You could have,
that's a mature take.
On. You know what I'm saying?
That's a mature.
You could be wearing a Carhartt jacket and be a piece of shit. So
yeah, it's an intellectual take. But the thing is, we're talking about at first glance. You don't know anything about this person. You got to take them for what you see, and when you see,
look at hands.
Well, there's various things you could take a look at, but one of those is going to be shoes, and you look down at the shoes and you go, "What are those?" Right?
Now, if the nigga, if he got a weak ass handshake, I already know I'm dealing with a bitch nigga.
Yeah.
Unless he got like a broken hand or some shit.
They meant that they got to be
hands on
clean, not expensive. That's also true, Computer. They do have to be clean, not expensive. That is also true. That's also true. Famo is saying, Famo, you don't agree that niggas love sneakers? Is that really what you're saying? He said, I don't know black people because I'm saying that niggas love sneakers. I thought that was a universal fact.
Well, okay, no. I disagree. Niggas love sneakers. But we're not talking about every nigga. We're just talking about a type of nigga. You know what I'm saying? There's a particular type of nigga. He loves sneakers. And that nigga exists in every culture too. There's, like I said, a couple weeks ago, I pulled up to the 7-Eleven and I saw some Arab cats, some teenagers, young ones, buying shoes out the back of a little van. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right. You could tell he just dropped a dime because he was counting that money for a minute. Also, don't count your money in public like that, y'all. Come on now.
Yeah. We like them, but everyone does. Nah, white man. Nah, the white man don't like sneakers like black people do. That is exclusive. That's an exclusive thing to hip hop. You have to be in the hip hop world. Because in the white people's world, they walk around with the dirtiest sneakers you ever seen, and white women love them. Like for white boys, it's like the dirtier and more worn your jeans are, your hat is, your shoes are, the cooler you are. They don't like if your sneakers are clean, they're looking at you like, what are you? What are you into black people?
It's because their fathers embrace the trade aesthetic. Their fathers embrace trade. Their community embraces trade. So their dad, his shoes have paint, drywall dust or some shit on it. Right. He's got, you know what I'm saying? Just like in the black community, you know what I'm saying? Your uncle, your grandpa, he's got you know, like a mechanic hand. You know what I'm saying? There's some type of mechanic grease on his hands. That's true. It's the same way. And that's what I'm saying. It should be more like that.
When we was talking about Timberlands last week, and you know, white man was like, yo, those are garbage. And then there was a bunch of people started posting boots that were worn. And they're like, look at these are a real man shoes. So you're right. A lot of this.
Check out my cat.
A lot of this has to do with the fact they're looking at it like, you know, this came from hard work. And that makes sense. That's something to be proud of. Hard work is definitely something to be proud of.
But that's why I think that I feel the way that I do, because of, you know, being incarcerated and shit like that. I had to work hard.
Higo says black women wear more sneakers than white men. Yo, black women do be collecting some sneakers, bro.
Hey, hold up. Do you feel, because I feel like Crocs in specific, black women hold up the Croc brand more than any other people.
Yo, niggas love them Crocs. I think that's across the board. Across the board.
You think that's across the board?
Yes,
man,
across the board. Like,
what the fuck is up with that shit, bro?
I don't know how the Crocs took over the black community. Mostly because I think they keep your feet warm and they're comfortable, right? Let's just call a spade. But somehow, like when I leave the house, niggas got on Crocs, bro. When I coach the kids, the black kids are showing up in Crocs. I remember when they used to show up with the slides. Now they're showing up in Crocs. The black kids. The white kids aren't showing up in Crocs. Huh?
Croc is the slide now.
Croc is the new slide.
Man, that's gross. That's real gross.
I can't do Crocs. I can't do Crocs either.
My wife loves Crocs. They'd be killing me.
Seven Devon said, nah, HJ, I worked at Nordstrom's. Was a personal shopper in one of the wealthiest areas in North Cal. White folks spend bread on clothes and shoes. Don't be gassed, Joe. Listen, I am not saying that white folks don't spend on clothes and shoes. In fact, I used to work at Nordstrom. I worked at Nordstrom. Short Hills Mall. This is one of the richest areas in New Jersey. It's a very bougie mall. And when I tell you,
afford that shit.
Well, a lot of white women, came in there and dropped racks. But these are people who are well-to-do, and they were mostly white women. I did not see white men coming in shopping. It was
white
them.
niggas from the trailer park are not buying shoes.
Correct. But black dudes from the hood will come buy some sneakers, right? Now, unless those white dudes are trailer park hip hop, then they'll have sneakers, right?
Yeah.
But hip hop is always going to be the key factor.
Caveat.
Yeah.
That's right.
But when I worked at Nordstrom, the white women didn't have jobs. They were shopping because, and they dropped bread. They definitely dropped bread. Wait, Cannon said his Crocs cost $250. Crocs cost that much?
Yo, Crocs be expensive as a motherfucker. I'm telling you. I went to get some Crocs for my wife's birthday, and I was like, holy shit, I thought I was about to drop like $60 or something like that. Man, no. Crocs are wild.
Yeah, Unc love them Crocs. I can't do them. My kids got Crocs. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't know what they cost. They mama bought them shits. You know, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's the white is purity and black is everything that pertains to bed. I don't know what he talking about.
Weird shit. I'm sick of them arguments, man. Can we just stop that? Can we leave that white is purity, black is... I'm so sick of niggas, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, somebody in the chat said it. I don't know who that was. Retro Neon says, "Strong Dad, who hurt you?" Uh-oh.
Listen,
shots fired.
Listen, first of all, Retro Neon is just he's a hater. He's a hater. Retro Neon is one of my haters, one of my infamous haters.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, shout out Retro Neon. We're gonna talk about bodybuilding being a popularity contest. Yes, technically it is. This is true. But I'm not a competitor in a national league. I am in the NANBF. These are just people who train to get on stage and see if they can be better, who want to do routines. But also, he said this. He said, "I train for grow or for doing some shit or whatever." He said, "I train to get it done or some shit, not for show." Listen, at the job site, when I watch dudes who can barely pick up their paint buckets and walk up the stairs, they got to take breaths. I remember having to work a 5-story, we did a 5-story building, 2 flights of stairs per story, and they would not let us use the lift. And every day we had to carry 100 gallons of paint up and down these stairs. And when I tell you I'm the only person who could actually do it because I deadlift, because I farmer's carry. And all of those things make your body look good. So whatever Retro Neon is saying, that's some hater shit. Because at the end of the day, performance is performance. No matter, your good-looking body comes as a result. And maybe what it is that he can't get a good-looking body because his process is trash. And that's why his results are trash.
Oh, boy. Shots fired. All right, let me get Ghosty in here, man.
I'm just showing love.
All right, yo. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Ghosting calling. Let's see what Ghosting got to add to today's conversation. You ain't healthy and you fake strong. Bodybuilding is fine, but if you older and your cardio and body fat is high, it's a waste. I wouldn't say it's a waste. And you kind of have you have some level of cardio if you're doing bodybuilding. There is some level of cardio there. Ghosting, what's up, man? What's happening with him, y'all? What you got for us today?
Shout out to Strong Dad. That motherfucking creatine.
Huh?
Stay off that creatine, Strong Dad.
He said stay off the creatine?
Yeah. You hear him right now? That fool was full creatine right now. He's gone.
Oh, shit. Lord,
nah, hey. Look. This whole motherfucking shit with dude, he's just,
Who?
With the fucking, with the interview dude. What's his name? The one who was, oh, wow.
Fat Joe?
Fat Joe, yeah, with the Trumps.
Oh yeah, with the Trumps, yeah.
This whole shit right here seems to me to be like, it almost seems like the beginning of a marketing campaign for, but I needed the Trumps. But I needed the Trumps. Because did you peep how he kept saying that shit in his video?
Yeah.
I'm this, but I needed the Trumps. And it was almost like gospel cadency. You know how that is.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
see where you're
almost
going.
like one of them subliminal plays at people to fucking be like, damn, man, I know all this other shit is right, but damn, I needed the Trumps. I could even see this motherfucker later on being like, I know I said all that shit in the past, but I needed the Trumps. And then the fucking wide pan camera shot comes out from the shit, and he's right there with Trump and some more shit.
I see what you're saying. You saying this was sort of a subconscious call to the community, to the hip hop community, that go ahead and we need to vote for Trump. I need to vote for Trump. He was subconsciously programming us to say that. That's interesting.
It's the call to all, man. Like that tweet I sent you a while back, where it was like, yo, I see this motherfucking shit between this Lives a TikTok broad and this other broad as the call that y'all referenced on Hotep's Been Told You and Unc, but going out to the fucking public in these big ass wide swaths. They know they can't communicate to everybody the same way because of all the division. So they're picking and choosing who they use and how they communicate, but it's all the same messaging, which is it's okay to fuck with Trump.
I initially thought this was, Fat Joe got the call. And then I heard him say I'm a diehard Democrat. But now you got me, going back on it like, okay, no, he got the call.
Yeah, when he sets it up in juxtaposition to how much of a Democrat he is, and then the last example he uses of that allegiance to being a Democrat is a negative one, where he's telling everybody, yo, I do it even to a fault. That's the last impression they get as his run of a fucking Democrat. And then he says, but even in spite of all that, I needed these motherfucking shoes because of all this other shit that doesn't matter in the bigger scheme of things. That was just all fluff to go around the central piece that they needed to penetrate in people's brains.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
I like the way you see through all the bullshit.
Bro, that's why he went all gospel cadency. They only dust that shit off when they trying to speak to a different type of wavelength that people listen on.
It's like an indoctrination mechanism.
Yeah, that's why fucking preachers use it. That's why fucking professors use it. The more profound speakers, they use that same tactic. They get in that cadence form of fucking speaking. That means they're trying to convince you of some shit alternative to what it is that they're actually talking to you about.
Yeah.
Programming. But he did that. Remember Hillary Clinton with her fucking hot sauce in my bag, and then she just snaps on that cadence. People consider that shit pandering, but I'm gonna tell you right now, there's courses taught that tell people to do that, to relate in more than just like the way that people can see. Thousands of years old technique, and that's, like I said, it's why preachers use it and all that other shit. It's like cadency talk. That's when you know someone's trying to convince you of some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like a serpent's tongue. It's always flicking.
Yeah. Now, what about sneakers and black folks? Is it safe to say that black folks love sneakers?
Yeah, black folks do love sneakers, but like most things, it's generated post, I don't know, I guess you could say civil rights era. It's one of the things that was generated post civil rights era.
Or Jordan, I think, sparked that off.
Right.
Yeah.
And those things are typically geared in such a way as to make themselves the culture Kind of like how you explain with the NFL, how it's not actual culture, but it needs shit to latch on to become culture.
Right.
That's kind of how I see Nike and the rest of these shoes companies. Shoes are not no one's culture. No one's fucking culture, except for maybe Cowboys. I'll give them that. Cowboys and cowboy boots got their whole thing.
And jeans,
but in this
jeans
country,
go with farmers and workers, yeah.
Yeah, in this country, shoes were never culture until they became something that they could make a boatload of money off of, and then they muscled their way into what people perceive as culture now.
Right. Yeah, that was my big issue with Nike was, you know, when I was going through another awakening, just looking around the black community, you know, like you go to a black event, right? And you just look down at the floor and you just see Nike, 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 Nike. And I'm like, yo, we in here complaining about white supremacy and all this shit when niggas can't even live without Nike. We don't even own our shoes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the other day I saw Nike got a new drop. These were the Deons, the zebra joints. And the new drop obviously has dropped the name Deion Sanders, and it has like this new name of the colorway or whatever. But I found it fascinating that they used us to push all these things, and now we don't have any separation. And the crazy part is, as I'm studying China, that's what put China on the map, was making shoes, the manufacturing of shoes. And, you know, all these shoes are made in Malaysia, Indonesia, China, you know, Taiwan, all these different factories over there. That's where the shoes are coming from. So the Chinese get paid off of us. The white man get paid off of us, but we don't even have our own shoe brand. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's why I refuse to wear Nike, because I don't want to be a part of that monopoly. I don't want to be an example of that. I have no choice but to wear Nikes.
I'm with you on that. I just wear whatever the fuck's gonna cover my shit and stay together the longest. I quit giving a fuck about brands a long time ago.
Yeah, same.
Fucking now, listen. So one last thing I want to say now, just as it pertains to this whole fucking racial shit. Motherfuckers are stirring.
What about it?
It's increasingly becoming more and more obvious to anybody who's looking at this point, because even normies are catching the fuck on to what's happening. But the government is becoming increasingly more unstable. I'll say that just to fucking make it a pretty broad example.
Okay.
The government is becoming increasingly more unstable, whether that's due to the election, whether that's due to overseas shit, whatever perspective you're coming at it from, it doesn't really matter. However deep you go into it, doesn't really matter. We all can agree that there is some unstable shit going on with the government. Now, having said that, you do have to add to the worst case scenario, I don't care how motherfucking optimistic you want to be, that the shit may get to a point to where they can no longer protect you. Maybe not nationwide, but definitely in some cities, things of this nature. There may be some breakdown of law enforcement, and they may not be able to protect you in the fashion that they once did. Okay? Don't let motherfuckers like Matt Walsh get you thinking the wrong type of way if you happen to be in one of those motherfucking cities that's headed in that direction.
What you mean?
Because he's not built for the fucking shit that comes from that type of thinking. Because if you look at it, psychologically speaking, these people are elevating matters of race to the level of importance that wars are fought over. Like, this is becoming life, this is becoming liberty, this is becoming those things. All the things that there's a need to protect in patriotic countries, things that there's a need to be protect amongst Christian nationalist circles, for various reasons. But all these things are pointing at us, of course, and they're pointing at other people. We're not the only ones under fire. But the people who are doing the pointing ain't built for what comes after they start espousing that mindset. When you start espousing that mindset into a bunch of people who are not built for that, what you're setting up is something very bad to happen when the law breaks down and the actual law of nature takes over. Because these people then become more high-minded in a direction that they're not built for than they should be.
And then what happens?
They've had
what's the next step in that chain of evolution of reactionary movement?
You send a bunch of motherfuckers out for slaughter. That's what happens next. You put batteries in a bunch of motherfuckers' backs that don't need them.
And ain't built for the war. Yeah.
Yeah, you got office workers that just so happen to have found you on a fucking podcast 6 months ago, buying into your rhetoric to such a degree to where they're feeling like they want to take on administrations, they want to take on establishments, and then eventually we all know how deep that fucking rabbit hole goes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, you're mass producing this bullshit that you're getting caught in daily as just outright lies in a lot of fucking ways. You're mass producing this shit to a bunch of people, but if the shit hits the fan, and like I said, an increasingly unstable governmental environment, if the shit hits the fan somewhere, you've got a bunch of people with batteries in their back. They may have even bought a bunch of guns and bought into the fucking rhetoric for the last 4 or 5 years. They may be out at the range. They may be all these things that you see, all these fucking freedom-loving ass profiles with the American flag and all these puns on the American culture's name as their fucking tag. You're going to see a lot of these people fold like motherfucking laundry. Because I don't care how hard you train. I don't care how motherfucking good of a shot you are. If you ain't never been in shit, you don't know shit. And that's just how it is. And ain't none of y'all been in shit. Now, I'm not talking about the military veterans and all them fools. They've been in shit. I'm talking about, like I said, the office workers and the motherfucking city councilmen who are buying in all this rhetoric and just dumb shit.
Well, Higo here says, I don't know. I think Matt Walsh is more ready than the average person. Then he says, what are people supposed to be doing? Sitting on their hands?
Matt Walsh is ready to pull the motherfucking rug from under you motherfuckers who have been buying into this Daily Wire pyramid ass scheme since motherfucking 2018. That's what Matt Walsh is ready to do. So you're right. He's ready. He's going to avoid all the bullshit. He's got the most foolproof plan there is. He did not need to buy one goddamn bullet to do it. He just fed off you motherfuckers. That's what he did. And he set himself up while you motherfuckers were too busy worried about fucking Bud Light cans and how you should be setting yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's setting people up to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, where's their motherfucking contingency plan? These motherfuckers sitting here talking all this yang on the goddamn airwaves about how shit is collapsing, how hell itself is coming up out of the ground and infecting the White House and some more shit. Where's their contingency plan are they offering you? Like, they know motherfuckers ain't got it like that. Everybody's not equally fucking with the shit on income and shit like that. Are they offering you any alternative banks if they're sitting here talking about the banks are collapsing? Are they sitting here offering you any type of alternative measures for when motherfucking they stop taking you, taking your ID at the fucking airport because you're on some type of list? Are they offering you any of that? No. But they're talking every day about how all this shit that you're used to doing is going to go away. They're never talking about how what happens when that happens. What are we going to do for the people who need help? They're not talking about that. That's how you know. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about these multi-million-dollar motherfuckers that are able to offer 360 contracts to fools.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those people.
Yeah.
What are they giving back? Because I know not everybody can, but they can. What are they giving way back as substance to the people who fatten their coffers? Nothing. Hotep Nation, at least, they offer the homeschooling, the 501c, all that, right? They give back to the community in that way. You know what I mean? But we ain't out here doomsaying like these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers are talking every day about how it's all going to fucking fall apart. So where's your contingency plan there?
Yeah.
For the people, you don't have that. That's how you know these motherfuckers are grifters. They don't give a fuck about you. They got the best plan possible, though, Igor. That's yank the plug on all that. So yeah, but that's all I got.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Yeah, you get Goldstein started up on Matt Walsh. He gonna go win. Let's get Cannon in here. Find out definitively about the black community and the sneakers. Strong Dad, who hurt you? No. Retro Neon, thank you for the super. $5 super. He says go, look, equals training for athletics. Show, look, equals training for aesthetics. Strong Dad says athletics and aesthetics come in tandem to an intelligent trainee. Strong Dad says when doomsday comes, niggas like Matt Walsh getting robbed. Office workers and fat niggas with gun collections are going to be walking storefronts. Lord have mercy.
Call from
Cannon.
Cannon, what's up, yo?
What's up, yo?
Chilling, man. What you got for us today?
Man, Fat Joe bullshit. And Fat Joe trying to get that Donald Trump bag. All that what's it called? Prerequisites.
Loyalty to the Democrat?
Yeah, it's like when people be like, look, man, I ain't saying I'm a Trump fan, but like, shut up, there you are.
The disclaimer.
You trying to pre-qualify. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what he's doing. And he's trying to get a bag. Next thing you know, he's gonna be out here doing music videos with Forgiato Blow and Tyson James and that.
Bryson Gray and shit.
Yeah, he's going to be a MAGA. He's Fat Joe gonna be a MAGA rapper with Yellow Wolf. Like,
I'm here for the Fat Joe MAGA rap, by the way.
Yo, that'll be a grip for him. They're gonna get him another bag. You know what I mean?
So you think he's calling out for the Trump bag?
I think so. I think that's exactly what he just did.
Definitely possible.
I think that's exactly what he did. You know,
I like that
all
too.
publicity. You know, good publicity. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, yo. The Trump shoes is trash. You continue to say
the gold ones.
They trash.
I like the gold ones.
I can't rock with them, yo. Now, if I could get a pair so I could resell them for $8,000 like everybody else been doing on eBay, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I couldn't rock them. Yo. I just like, nah. They look like some shitty supers. Like they like some supers and spray painted.
Yeah, they definitely look like some.
And
supers.
I'm a fan of the supers. I'm a fan of them. I wish they still made them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean. But I'm sitting there like, man. But it's funny because we was talking shoes on the stream last night. You know what I mean? And I'm one of them shines. You know, I still got a shoe fetish. You know, I ain't outgrown it yet. You know, I ain't ashamed of it.
Is that black culture?
You know, I think it is. Like we were talking about it last night because somebody said, "Yo, why are Timberlands so popular?" And I said, we saw Biggie rocking them with the red and black lumberjack and the hat to match. You know what I mean? We saw Wu-Tang rocking them. We saw Pac with the Super Timbs on. I'm like, I was like, so. You know, our culture kind of pushes those trends, I would think. You know what I mean? Not to mention, like you guys were saying, I said it last night, where I had, one of my cousins, rest his soul, when I was younger, I said, why you always buying tennis shoes? He's like, girls, women look at your shoes. If your shoes is dusted, they going to think that you dusty.
Right.
And they ain't going to rock with you. And that's always stuck with me. So I've always kept nice shoes. Now, it's a difference between having your work shoes and your stepping out shoes, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I ain't wearing my Red Wings to the club. You know what I mean? I ain't wearing the Red Wings to the club, but you know, my Red Wings is for when I'm on them job sites. You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
Right.
You know, there's some nuance there. Like, and I might go overboard. I might go overboard on how much I pay for stuff. You know what I mean? But that's just how I do it. Like, you know, can I look fly with a pair of $50 tennis? Yeah, I can. You know, it's on how I dress it up.
But you gonna get them phones.
I got them. They on the way. They on the way.
You the nigga I don't like. It's you niggas that I'm disgusted with. Fucking Nike niggas.
I might have got them. I might have paid over retail for them, but they on the way.
I'm telling you, let me tell you something, yo. When I saw them Deons on my timeline, I almost broke. I almost broke.
Just saying.
Them shits. Listen, those was my favorite. I went and got a job. Well, I already had a job, but I spent my hard-earned money because my dad wasn't gonna. He never believed in buying me $100 pair of sneakers. He's like, it's just overpriced because niggas is wearing it. But when I got my own money, I bought them Deons, and I loved them Deons, and I saw them pop up on my timeline, them retros. I almost buckled. I ain't even gonna hold you. The shine in me rose up like, nigga, you know you want them shits.
I just couldn't do the 500 on StockX for them. I was like,
Is that what they
and
going
then,
for?
Yeah, 550. I think we looked at them last night, and then the Barry Sanders is going for more. So but that's it. Yeah. So like I said, like I think black culture pushes a lot of those trends for them. Like think about it. If black folks got, let's just say Wayne or somebody would have got behind Shaq's shoes, Spalding would have been through the roof.
Yeah. Well, they saying that's why they got Kobe out the paint.
Oh, word?
That's what they saying.
Look at Champion. Champion was some shit you found at Walmart or something like that, or Woolworths or something.
Right.
You know, the right person started wearing Champion, and look, man, $60 for a Champion hoodie or something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our culture pushes that. I got on a pair of New Balance. I got a pair of New Balance right now that cost me $180.
How much?
How did New Balance ever cost that $180?
Damn.
When did New Balance ever cost that much money back in the day?
I don't remember them being that much.
Start wearing New Balance. Right. And once two niggas start wearing New Balance. Once niggas start wearing New Balance and made it a thing, now they cost a bunch of money.
Remember the Bo Jacksons?
I got Crocs. The Bo Jack, but if I can find it, it's hard to find a pair of Bo Jacksons.
Yo, the Bo Jacksons and the Griffies, them shits will almost make me buckle too.
Yeah, and the Griffey's still out there. We seeing them in the store all the time. Every time I go to buy them, I see something else.
I remember I was a kid when the Griffies was the Ken Griffey's was out. So, you know, I was the kid that didn't have them because my dad wasn't going to buy them. But damn, I wanted them shits.
I had an aunt and uncle that always kept me fresh when my father wouldn't do it.
Oh, word?
So, like I had the Grant Hills. And because I was a young nigga with big ass feet. So if my uncle wore 12, I could wear his shoes. So he kept me fresh.
Yeah.
So like I had the Grant Hills. I had the Griffey.
Right.
And stuff like that. Like I had all that stuff, but like it was because it was like, yo, you gotta always keep your feet clean. Your feet ain't clean, these girls ain't gonna rock. And that's just all it was. My first job was a shoe store.
Well, let me ask you this. My second job was a shoe store, but let me ask you this. $250 pair of Crocs?
Yeah, yo.
Why? How?
Because I thought them shits was dope. I wore them to Hotep Con like the second year.
But why are they so expensive?
I have no clue.
It's a colorway? Them shits is waterproof or something?
It's this black designer called Denbury. I can't remember his last name.
Oh, this is an exclusive drop.
Yeah, it's an exclusive drop.
They do an exclusive drop on the Crocs?
Yeah, and it was $250 when I got them because the reason
that's how I know niggas got to it. When they start doing exclusive drops, that's how I know niggas got to it.
Yeah, and the reason I had to pay the $250 is because the shoes went quick, bro. Like I went on the site to grab them and they was gone already, so I had to go to GOAT. And I had to grab them joints for a little above retail. And ended up being like $60 above retail or something like that. And I bought two pairs, I bought the white ones and the black ones I just showed you. You know, they comfortable, they look good with a pair of sweats, you know what I mean, with shorts. You know what I mean? It's something different. So, but it was something different. And now they just sit in the box, and I don't remember the last time I even put them on my damn feet. You know what I mean? And then with the $900 ball mains that I probably wore twice.
The ball mains? I'd be scared to wear those.
Nigga, I was scared to put them in my suitcase, so I didn't even bring them to Vegas. I was like, these stuff, I'm going to shoot somebody. They steal these bitches. I was like, I don't need TSA, one of these niggas see them shoes in my luggage because they got to check my gun, and next thing my shoes is gone.
Right.
So I might have wore them maybe 2 or 3 times, and they sit in the box. It's some fine shit, and I know. I shake my head every time a box comes to the house, and I'm like, did I really need these? And then I'm like, I wear them, and then they sit in the box, and then I go back to like my Hokas or my or some shit I wear.
Well, let me ask you this: the important questions here. Is this moving the needle for Trump? Are these sneakers moving the needle for Trump? Are black people going to start lining up to vote for Trump because of these sneakers? What's your take on that?
No, they're not about to start lining up to do that.
Okay.
He did this shit as a fundraiser because they finding the shit out of him with all.
Yeah, he got attorney fees to recuperate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then $350 million to New York because of whatever they're trying to get him on. Then the $83 million to the lady that made Anderson Cooper uncomfortable, sending Eugene Carroll. You know what I mean? Like he gotta pay that. They trying to deplete his war chest. So he's smart with what he's doing. So look at the NFTs. Wasn't nobody messing with no NFTs, and Trump could come out with an NFT. And what did he make? He made $350 million on the NFTs.
Damn.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember he did NFTs. I know he made $350 million. I forgot about that.
If I'm not mistaken, it was $350 million on the NFTs. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's about right. So I don't know what he made on these shoes at $400 a pair.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the NFTs sold out, and they said the shoes sold out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he made on these shoes and what other things he got, but they keep trying to deplete his war chest. But his supporters are the ones buying these shoes. You might got a couple of sneakerheads that see the grift, like y'all can resell these for this. But other than that, it's his supporters that's buying these shoes simply because they want them. And that's what's happening. It's not moving the needle for Trump in the black community because he can't wear a fucking shoe. You know what I mean? No. And it was kind of asinine for that dude to say that on Fox News. He was just out of touch. I don't know why he thought that was a thing. It is not. I don't know. No niggas in the hood are, yo, you see them Gold Trump show? They didn't care at all. Most of my homeboys that saw them shits tell exactly what I said. Them shits is trash.
Yeah.
But they tripping, yo. But that's the other thing, yo. So I saw you put on Twitter, you was like, what kind of optics should I get for my AR?
Yeah.
And you just gotta go with the classic, yo. Just go, like, cause you ain't out here. People talk about the ACOG. These niggas talk about ACOGs. They don't got ACOGs because the ACOG it's not a pain in the ass, and it's a great scope if you trying to hit shit out at distance.
Yeah.
But the eye relief on the ACOG is shit. It sucks. The eye relief on the ACOG it sucks because you got to be so close up on the optic to see through it. But it's made for really for long distance. So like if you shooting at somebody at
1,000 yards,
80, 100 yards, something like that.
Yeah,
I got you. Now what you want, because you in an urban setting, you just need a regular ass red dot, yo. Get like a hollow sun, full 3C red dot.
Red dot? You mean the laser beam?
No, it's a red dot. It's a reflex sight. It's not that they go on top of the gun, and you look through it like on Call of Duty. You look through it, it's a little red fucking.
Oh yeah.
It's called a reflex sight because it's made so that you can keep both your eyes open, like you playing the video game, and you see that dot as a part of your vision. So you don't got to keep one eye closed looking through it. You can acquire the dot, open both eyes, and now that dot is a part of your vision.
Right.
You just move the gun with you, and that dot stays a part of your vision. And if you need a magnifier, then put a fucking magnifier behind it. So like the picture I sent you of my 300 blackout, I got a magnifier behind it. I can toggle the magnifier to the side or in front of the optic whenever I need to shoot at distance. But 9 times out of 10, if I got to shoot somebody with the magnifier, I got to explain to the police why the fuck I was shooting so far.
Correct.
You know, so a red dot, if you want the magnifier behind it, throw a magnifier behind it. But all you need in your situation is a red dot. And throw some iron sights. So like get some Magpul and bus sights, just in case the red dot battery dead.
I got the flip up joints.
Yeah, they straight. You get those, and then like the Hollow Sun optic, it's got like 10,000 battery life, 10,000 hour battery life, and it's got a shaker weight, so you don't got to turn it on.
Oh.
As soon as you touch the gun and pick it up, the dot ready to rock and roll for you. You ain't got to fuck with nothing.
Okay. I didn't know this thing had
So
a battery. Okay.
Yeah, it's got one of them lithiums in it, but I change mine out once a year just to make sure they good. But it's got 10,000 hour battery life, and as soon as you pick the gun up, the optic turns on. You don't gotta hit no buttons or none of that, and it's ready to go. So that's what I would do.
Send me a
and
link
then
or
you should be
something
good
so
to go.
I know what to look at.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Word.
And y'all, I hope you ain't got no macaroni Tims, yo.
Macaroni Tims? What's the macaroni Tims?
That's the butt naked. That's the one with no leather up top and a single sole at the bottom.
No, I got leather up top.
All right.
I got the half butt naked.
Oh, you got the half button. Oh, you got the single sole at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the label with it.
Apparently those are the entourages. That's what the entourage was wearing in the rapper's video. Yeah, because they were a little bit less expensive.
So they didn't get the premium like the rappers did. They got them.
Yeah.
So I can't. I don't know. I don't wear Timberlands like that. I just always been Nike boots. That's what I always wore.
Yeah.
So anyway, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Appreciate you taking the call.
Hotep and Bill. That's Cannon on the check-in. Let's get Rudy in here. See what Rudy got to add here. Talk to Rudy. 1K for the ACOG. I'm not spending 1K on no damn sights on a gun. I don't got 1K to spend on no damn sights. What? Who got 1K to spend on? Well, I know somebody got it, but I ain't the one. I only made $24 on today's stream. I definitely can't afford it. Retro Neon said, I got a name for the wrestling promotion that's going to be ran by me and Goldstein. It's going to be called The Beatdown. We'll have women in the cage and all of that. Oh my God. Probably a lot of money in that if you can organize it. Y'all follow what's the name of that? Backyard Scraps, I think it's called. That shit is dope. I'll be watching them shits on YouTube.
Call from
Rudy the Vet.
Rudy, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man?
Life is good, man. What you got for us today?
Man, there's a couple things, man. That video Strong Dad put out, or he said put the fucking fork down, had me crying, laughing.
Wait, what?
That shit was... Strong Dad put out a video on Twitter. It came across my feed this morning. And he's like, it ain't genetics. Put the fucking fork down. Put the fucking fork down. Man, I was crying. That shit was hilarious, Strong Dad. Had me weak. That shit had me weak. Second of all, Cannon's absolutely right, man. All you need is a hollow. Get it dialed in correctly. Because that AR is more to move and pluck. I wouldn't even put any kind of long distance kind of scope on a 223 or 5.56 anyway. I'd get something 308 or better.
Okay.
Something where your average store-bought round is going to get you farther down range than an AR round will.
Right.
Especially if you got an AK and you put a big-ass scope on an AK, you're dumb as shit. It's only accurate up to about 350 yards. After that, the bullet does what it wants to do.
Yeah.
And I'm here to agree, yet disagree with the Nephilim. Okay? I 100% agree with him that the fucking Daily Wire cocksuckers, excuse my French, man, damn, I was trying not to cuss. The Daily Wire clowns are spewing hateful rhetoric that's going to get people hurt. 100%.
Okay.
And 100% I agree with them that your average Joe who ain't never seen nothing real is not going to be ready for somebody's head getting peeled off standing right next to them. They're not going to be ready for that, man. They're going to go in shock. They're going to panic. At a young age, man, I came home and found my mother dead on the floor, and I think that changed me forever. That when I went out and saw some shit like that happen a few times in my life, that it didn't really freak me out, because once you come home and find your mother dead on the floor, it's all basically over with after that. You become numb. You become numb to death, right?
Yeah.
But Matt Walsh and that Daily Wire crew are 100% going to be fine in this, because old boy Ben probably bringing over Mossad agents left and right to run security for them people, man. He probably has a fenced-in 30-acre piece of property somewhere in the hillside outside of Nashville, Tennessee, with armed ex-JSOC and ex-Mossad guys roaming his property, protecting him. He ain't gonna bust it. He ain't got to bust his gun. He's gonna hire professionals to bust his gun. But the thing about it is, man, if you ain't never seen no real violence, listen to Sean Ryan. He's got a podcast. Listen to the Drinking Bros, Dan Holloway. Listen to dudes who have been through war and talk about you don't want it, and these guys have seen it up close. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to tell the average Joe, the average kick guy on the weekend who runs around in the woods and shoots steel targets, you're not ready for what's coming, man. You're not ready to see your homeboy's head get splattered all over the fucking wall standing right next to you. And Matt Walsh is ready for it because he's going to go hide behind his JSOC and Mossad guys that he pays hundreds of thousands of dollars to guard him, his family, and his property. So stop buying. Like, I agree with him 100%. Like, dude, they spew the most vile, putrid stuff out of their mouths, man. They are the biggest problem. Me and you have talked about this from forever. They are a cancer on society as a whole, man. But you know, they're taking their millions of dollars and they're prepped up for. They're ready for it, man. They're going to be ready for it, and they're going to have a little team around them to protect them, man. Matt Walsh ain't going to pick up that rifle, but he's got that.
Well, that's what Strong Dad was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, not Strong Dad.
No.
Ghosteen. Ghosteen was saying he's not going to pick up the rifle.
But somebody said the dudes like Matt Walsh are going to get robbed. No, they're not. That when the shit hits the fan, that they're going to be the ones looted. No, they're not, because they got trained professionals around them, man. They're not going to be the ones to fall. They're not going to be the ones to fall, man. It's going to be when that roving band comes through some rural area and, like somebody said, the fat guy with a bunch of guns doesn't really know what the hell's going on, and he hands a couple to his kids. He's like, let's go get him, and watches one of his sons' head get ripped off his shoulders. That's going to be the issue. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the guy who's like, what the hell just happened? You know, they're not Randy Weavers, man. Randy Weaver was a Green Beret. He was prepared for what was coming down the pipeline. A lot of these guys ain't seen nothing, man. Nothing. So with the shoes, it's not going to move the needle. But two things can be true at once, man. Black culture is sneaker culture. So when Raymond Arroyo said it, he was right in the point that, this is good publicity, this is good marketing. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna move the needle on voting. And anybody who gets mad that some gay guy from Louisiana, some gay Latin guy from Louisiana who sits on Fox News says anything, come on, man. They're tools, man. If you're still watching Fox News, if you're even looking at the clip, if you're rolling through Twitter and you see a clip of Fox News and you stop on it to hear what they're saying, you're kind of dumb, man. You know, I love you to death. If you're in the chat, I still love you, but you're kind of dumb if you even stop on Twitter on a Fox News clip. You know what I'm saying? That's why until you played it, I had seen. I've been flipping through a couple times and seen the thing, but I'm not going to stop and listen to that nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's the point? It's Fox News, right? I mean, haven't we figured out what they're all about, right? So, I don't know. That's it. All I know. It's Grifty's next week, man.
Grifty's next week, man. You got your fit ready? You got your sneakers ready?
Bro,
you got your gold trunks ready? I know you're rocking the gold trunks to the Grifties.
Listen, this is sad, right? This is sad because it stands everything I believe in rock in the world and the way I carry myself. I hate everything about the company Nike, but dude, that's all I've worn since I was 14 years old.
You about to wear the Nikes to the Grifties? Lord Jesus,
of course, man. Of course, I love you to death, bro. I got some Timbos but I got the 3/4 highs.
We rocking Timbs to the Grifties.
Okay, all right. No, I got my outfit for the Grifties, dog. I'm taking it back to the 90s, man.
Facts.
I'm taking it back to the 90s, man. I'm ready to go. I'm stunting on all y'all. I'm even breaking out the gold chain, bro.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm breaking out the prodigy chain, the one that hangs down to my nuts, man.
Oh boy, pause.
So, but look, man, I love everybody in the chat, man. Be good, man. Hotep and Bill, brother.
Hotep and Bill. I'm gonna go get out of here because I gotta hit the gym. I gotta get the boys in the gym before the gym gets crowded. So I'm gonna head out. Great stream today, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. What does it say? When doomsday comes, niggas like Matt Walsh getting robbed off. Okay, I've read that one. Strong Dad, thank you for the $5 super. I know one thing is true. There's a nigga spending his birthday money on Nikes as we speak. Yo, I got this one homie who every time I see him, he talk about money troubles. And I just look at his sneakers. I don't say nothing, but I look at his sneakers and they be fresh to death. He always got a new pair of sneakers. Every time he get paid, he runs straight to get a new pair of sneakers. I don't know what's going on, man. But couldn't be me. You got your margarines for the Grifties? Let's go. Loki coming with the Timbs on. Loki coming to the Grifties with the Timbs on. I love to see it. I love to see it. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Be back tomorrow for another episode of the Grift Report, live 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay well, be merry. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. And as always, Hotep and Bill.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan,